Hello, boys and girls. Shadi speaking here. I'm the co-founder of Lordcraft Designs and the main designer of the team. Today I want to share with you an exclusive behind the scenes to one of my, let's say, one of my hardest models I've ever had to undertake, which is the Black Temple or the Temple of Karabor. It's an iconic piece that has been around for a very long time. Every single Warcraft player, whether the RTS or WoW players are, they recognize it. So when I started making the Draenei doodads and tech tree, this piece was on my mind from the get-go, and I gotta admit that it was dreadful just to even think about the amount of details it requires to achieve this, iconic look. So the first things first, before I started making this, I had to collect references. As you can see, this is the Warlords of Draenor version, which has been redesigned from its original appearance from the Burning Crusade. As you can see, this is how the original Black Temple looked. Back then, I think Blizzard did not exactly build a coherent Draenei architecture yet. That was still in its infant stages. Not like the Draenei architecture found in Warlords of Draenor. So as you can see, there's a major inconsistency of appearance in terms of the pillars, the materials used, and so on. So that was my biggest challenge: is how do I achieve this look, and also how do I achieve this one. So I had to think about what to do to get those to look like the same building, which is the version where it was before the corruption, and then afterwards when this was done. As you guys can see, the building is not entirely finished, because the developers had to cut development and release Warlords of Draenor earlier than anticipated. But as you guys can see, it was supposed to be a full city, like a hub for the Alliance. But as you guys notice, it's not entirely finished. Look at this here, look at the roof. Look at here and there, this doesn't make sense even for a third-person, game. So that was also another challenge for me, is that how do I achieve this look, and also how to get those backyards, balconies and stairwells, and especially this iconic stairwell. So as you guys can see, I did not recreate it one-to-one, because after all, you have to know the purpose of what you're doing. Since this is an RTS and mostly the perspective will be from this distance, it doesn't make sense to, let's say, design those tiniest details, like rims and stuff. It doesn't make sense, because you are playing from this distance, and mostly you are scrolling like this. So it would be a waste of time and effort on my part to make like crisp details here and there. So I had to make sure that I need to preserve this silhouette, like keep the iconic appearance, but at the same time I should not go over detailed with this, so in order to avoid a noisy look. So as you guys can see, I came up with a very satisfying piece, and of course, as you guys can see, this is the "you are not prepared." I know all of you will recognize this, because as you guys can see here, it's not available here. It wasn't done, but as you guys can see in the original, it was there. That this iconic stairwell and the roof. So I managed to successfully blend in the two designs to make it like this. So instead of making it like complete copy of the World of Warcraft version, I had just to make it just enough to make it recognizable immediately. Like when you scroll like this, you will say, "Oh yeah, definitely, this is the roof. This is the Illidan encounter roof." So I believe that I was successful when I made this. So after I finished the modeling phase, now comes the sculpting phase. As you guys can see, this is empty because everything you see here is mirrored on the other side. So once you mirror, like once you sculpt something, you can mirror it on the other side. So that's why it appears empty. So I had, you know, to do everything by hand. You know, these rivets, these details here on the windows, the scratches on the crystals. Everything you see here is done by sculpture on hand. So once I've finished the sculpting phase, I immediately bake the details in Substance Designer, and voila, there it is. There's the beautiful details. Look at all of this, you know, this is amazing, you know. I was very happy that I came up with exactly how I envisioned it. Like I said earlier, this is designed for an RTS, so in order to achieve a recognizable silhouette, I have to make a balance, you know, like do enough details, but don't go overboard with the details, you know, like I had to find the perfect balance, just as you guys can see. So here it is. There are side doors, you know, here's the main door. There's also, oh yeah, here's the main door. Some statues, balconies, doors here and there. You know, there's the upper balcony here, you know, I think I made a door here somewhere. Where it is. Yeah, there it is. Here's another door, you know. If you guys remember, like when you go to the courtyard and you ascend, and finally, here's the iconic piece, you know. I decided to put this here instead of that, you know. I don't know how it was. I don't remember exactly what was the original shape, but I felt that this is cooler, you know. Some of these pieces are from previous assets I made, so this is also another plus for me, is that I have enough assets that I can, you know, kit bash to come up with this appearance. So not everything is exclusive to this model. Some of these are like from other models, just like this piece here, and this piece here. All of these come from different models, but as you guys can see that I made them consistent. So here it is, the Temple of Karabor, and of course, I didn't forget to mention there's the Black Temple version. There it is. This is, I think it's much better looking. Yeah, I know this players will say, yeah, it doesn't look like much like this one for sentimental reasons, but let's be honest, look at this. This is horrible. I know it made sense in like 2007, but all of this, like a blob, you know, like a blob of textures and very blocky shapes. So yeah, maybe you might prefer this version for sentimental reasons, for nostalgic reasons, but in terms of consistency, this should look like this, but corrupted. You'll ask, why is it so different? Like, why is it darker? So, well, because, you know, negligence, corruption, you know, the orcs are not your cleanest fellows in the block, you know, so they don't exactly clean this place. And the excessive use of fell magic, you know, we decided that the crystals are reactive to the excessive exposure to fell magic, so they turn green. And there it is. So here's how it is. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm very proud of this piece. You're gonna see it in both Chronicles of the Second War and the Chains of Conquest campaigns, you know, before and after. Just like almost every other Draenei assets I've made two versions, a corrupted version, which is the current timeline, and the pre-corruption. So you guys are gonna see clean consistency between the two timelines, you know, when the Rise of the Horde and the First and Second Wars. So there it is. This video is just gonna be a part of the upcoming Draenei series as we go along to show you more behind the scenes videos. So if you guys like this, enjoy this content, consider you know, donating to the project and maybe perhaps become my Patreon. Thank you all for watching, and see you when we release.